So last week, we've been talking about the power of holiness, and that's kind of what we're talking about right now. That second paragraph really hits it that we don't really know how powerful we are. We don't know the holiness that abides within us. And it says here that what we always try to do with truth is try to figure it out from some limited perspective. We try to fragment out truth and understand it. And it says that we have a little trouble doing that. It doesn't show us the whole thing. It says, look in that second paragraph, it says there's a tendency to fragment and then to be concerned about the truth of just a little part of the whole. And this is but a way of avoiding or looking away from the whole to what you think you might be better able to understand. As opposed to looking at the mighty ocean, we try to understand from just a little drop or a little focus over here. For this is but another way in which you still try to keep understanding to yourself, like I can understand it. This lesson tonight, doesn't it just open up your mind to say, I do not know, but a feeling in there that this is exciting, that there's a sense that you understand it, but you don't understand it. You know, you get it, but you don't get it like you get it in the world. But you feel that sense. And there's some, and it's good to get you a little tipped off of your comfort zone. You know, we were talking at the retreat. I put up this one quote that says, tolerance for pain may be high, but it's not without limit. At some point, we all decide that there has to be a better way. And that lesson goes on and says that at that point, it introduces spiritual vision into our awareness and begins to withdraw our attention to physical sight, which can be very discomforting. You know, the flipping between spiritual vision and physical sight. And it says, but don't worry, the outcome is as certain as God. And that's always in there. When you're going through tenuous times, it says, don't worry, the outcome's as certain as God. You're going to get there. But it's so powerful to think of this, that as we begin this process, we may stumble a little bit. In the Course it says, you know, this path is new to you. You're unsure of it, but that's okay. You know, you kind of know. Like when you're climbing something, like climbing up a mountain or something, have you ever been kind of like it's rocky, it's kind of unsure, but for some reason you go on. Why is that? Because somebody's told you the view up there is incredible. You don't want to miss it. And so you keep kind of walking on. My brother climbed Ayers Rock in Australia one time, and he said it was kind of a tenuous thing. I mean, they had some ropes on there because they didn't want you slipping down the rock, because it's not really jagged, it's kind of all smooth. And in some ways, that's the scariest thing to climb, because you can't grip it like you would. He said, but as scared as he was that he was kind of slipping at times, he wanted to get to the top. And that kept him going, that there was something that he wanted to see, even though it wasn't as comfortable. He wasn't in his comfort zone. The same thing for us, you know. I think we kind of know there's something more. We're a little bit nervous about it, but we trust the hand that's guiding us, who's saying, come on, you can do it. You can do it because you're never alone. Into his presence would you enter now? And kind of that's what this is saying here. For this is but another way in which you would still try to keep understanding to yourself, to think that you can totally understand it when we cannot. A better and far more helpful way to think of miracles is this: you do not understand them, either in part or in whole, yet they have been done through you. Therefore, your understanding cannot be necessary. And I think that's just so great. You do not have to understand for the truth to work. So don't worry about it. It will work through you if you will till the soil, if you will open up your heart, if you will open up your mind, you know, it's going to work. Therefore, your understanding cannot be necessary, and yet it is still impossible, look at this, to accomplish what you do not understand. So there must be something in you that does understand. So that's the other thing. See, that's kind of this, what did he say? He just said, I don't understand. Then he's telling me there's something in me that does understand. But see, it's the something that it's telling you is not your ego understanding, where you try to figure it out from your limited perspective. It's that wonderful mystery that the Course is kind of saying, into his presence would I enter now. It's the stuff you can't really understand from your logical ego mind, but in your heart you kind of feel it. So that's what it's talking about there. So there is something in us that does understand, because we're something so much greater than this limited ego thought that we have.